In this crossover miniseries, the Team New Excalibur are celebrating their latest victory when they receive unexpected guests. Brian, aka Captain Britain, realizing that it's Psylocke, his older sister, who is currently working with the Exiles. She's accompanied by John, who joins them at the party where TJ sees them and is ecstatic to see John is alive again. As they catch up, she sadly admits that she had a stroke and suffers physical and mental difficulties, but John hopefully states they can scour the multiverse for a solution. Psylocke tells Brian about the Exiles, revealing that Longshot is of their universe and they finally found him back at base, but explains Mojo wiped his memory before he first joined them. Brian questions if they're doing well in their mission, especially since it's a similar one to New Excalibur, but she insists they're doing just fine. Brian goes to answer the door again, where he's stabbed by Rouge Mort and her armed soldiers, who advance on the crowd. Psylocke attacks but is knocked down, and the rest of the present heroes all join the fight, TJ trying to possess Rouge Mort but being knocked back by a force field. The villains prove to be a match for the heroes, and Brian needs medical attention, so Psylocke instructs Dazzler to create a blinding light, while the heroes are teleported to the Panopticon, where they get Brian to the medical bay. The rest of the Exiles arrive and meet the new heroes, also rejoicing to see TJ again, but Dazzler is heartbroken when she learns that Longshot, her husband, can't remember her and teleports out of the room, contemplating taking her life, but thankfully Mystique talks her out of it. They manage to stabilize Brian, where Brian theorizes that this is part of a coordinated attack on their entire corps, but Psylocke brushes it off and catches up with Excalibur team member Pete Wisdom. Cat uses the teleporter to bring in doctors from other universes, while the older couple from the previous story arc watch on in loving awe. Meanwhile, the reality-bending chaotic super being James Jaspers is approached by New Excalibur antagonist Merlin to form an alliance. They're ambushed by members of the Captain Corps, but Jaspers proves immune to their attacks, killing one and turning the other two into mindless creatures called the Fury before agreeing to Merlin's alliance. They storm the Starlight Citadel, headquarters of the Captain Corps, with an army of the Fury, and the Corps engage in battle, while the Exiles pick it up on their view screen. But despite fighting valiantly, the Corps take heavy losses, especially from Jaspers, and they appear doomed. Corps Commander Saturnine briefly manages to dematerialize him, but as he quickly reforms and prepares to kill her, the Exiles join the battle, their combined might managing to stun him and even weaken the Fury forces. As the armies fight, Rouge Mort infiltrates the Citadel and attempts to capture Roma, the head of the Corps, but Dazzler teleports in and halts them while Longshot escapes with Roma. Longshot fights off Rouge Mort's forces before going back to Dazzler, who's been incapacitated, leaving Roma in the care of Excalibur teammate Sage, where it's revealed Roma has been impaled. Dazzler and Longshot finally manage to bring down Rouge Mort, but they're seemingly killed by Merlin, who decides to do things himself. Meanwhile, Psylocke and Wisdom infiltrate a maximum security prison to recruit a more brutal version of Brian named Albion. He refuses, but when they tell him Brian's in trouble, he changes his mind, joining the fight as Jaspers attempts to convert Blink and morph into the Fury. Even he's no match for Jaspers, but suddenly Jaspers starts to morph against his will, turning completely into one of the Fury, losing his mind and powers, but still taking down all but a few of the Captain Corps. Just then, Brian appears fully healed and takes on the Jaspers Fury, right as the Citadel crashes on top of the Exiles. A dying Roma transfers her psyche to Sage before Merlin kills her, soon met by Psylocke, who manages to fight him back and uses a psychic weapon to send him away. Albion assists Britain in fighting the Jaspers Fury, aided by a sudden appearance by Blink, who uses her energy lances to blow it up from the inside out. His forces defeated, the team demand Merlin surrender, but he teleports away, a small piece of the Fury tagging along. Longshot and Dazzler escape from the wreckage of the Citadel, scarred but alive, while Sage reveals she now has all of Roma's knowledge in her head, and she doesn't know what to do with it. In the aftermath, Albion is elected to be the new leader of the Captain Corps, Longshot leaves the Exiles to be with Dazzler, and TJ rejoins, bringing Sage with her. And the mysterious older couple pass on, securing the knowledge the Exiles have things under control.